Okay, folks, and welcome to another episode of Lightroom Tips. Today I would like to talk to you about how you can fade Lightroom presets. I'm sure you've all had the experience where you want to spice up one of your pictures using a preset, maybe one you've created yourself or one you have downloaded from the internet, and that the preset puts you in the right direction, but it's either too soft or most of the time it's a little bit over the top. Like for instance, when I apply this preset here, the X equals summer and rain preset from the excellent xequals.com blog. It's a blog you should really check out if you like cross-processing presets. They have some of the best and cheapest, because they're free, cross-processing presets around. So if you use this preset X equals summer plus rain, it spices up the picture, but it's a little bit over the top for me. You can also see here that the blacks are starting to clip a little bit. So I would want this effect to be a little bit less pronounced. So what can I do? I can, of course, I can jump into the right panel in the develop module and start tweaking all the sliders that the preset has changed, but actually that would be quite a lot of work, and it wouldn't necessarily guarantee me a good result, because this preset and most of the good presets you find on the internet, they are quite elaborate. They change a lot of things. They change white balance, they add vignettes. Some of the presets from the X equals series, they even use graduated filters and stuff like that. So it's almost impossible to, even if you could, to put every slider, say, at 50%, to try to create a preset at half strength. So what I do in those cases, I choose a simpler method which gives me more control, and that is, I'll first go out of the preset. I make a virtual copy by hitting Control apostrophe or Command apostrophe on the Mac, and I apply the preset to that virtual copy. I then select the two photographs in the film strip, and I choose Photo, Edit in, Open as Layers in Photoshop. What this will do is this will create file, a third file in Lightroom with the two pictures, so the two different versions, the version with the preset and the version without the preset on top of each other. And then I just have to select the topmost layer in the Photoshop's layers palette. I select the opacity, and there's a nice keyboard shortcut. If you hold down the shift key and you use the up or down arrows, you can modify the opacity, and that way you can blend as much or as little as you want from the photo with the preset into the unfiltered photo, so to speak. So in this case I liked it at about 70%, so 30% of the unfiltered picture and 70% of the picture with the presets. If you compare it to the full preset, you see it's a little bit less strong. So if I like this version, the only thing I have to do is I hit File, Save, not Save As, because if you choose Save As and you save it under a different name, then Lightroom of course loses track of everything. So always when you edit pictures in Photoshop coming from Lightroom, always choose Save and not Save As. And if I now switch over back to Lightroom, then you will see that a third file has been created, and it is the file, the edited file with the 30% of the first picture and the 70% of the second picture. The advantage of working this way is that it goes very fast, and you have control up to percentage level of how much of the filtered versus the unfiltered version you want to have in the final composite. So that's the big advantage. It also works much faster than trying to reverse engineer a preset in Lightroom. The disadvantages are that you create another file with its own file size, and that you actually render the file in Photoshop so that you're no longer working non-destructively. You apply the different settings of the preset to your picture. So I would advise you to do this in the last stage of your workflow and not in the beginning of your workflow. You first do everything, all the settings that you have to do in Lightroom, and then you do it as a final step. So that's the tip for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more tips to come.